Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Recording in 5 4 3 2 1. On this Sunday, November 24th of 2019, I want to bring a concept to the table that, once again, for all intents and purposes, rarely gets talked about on YouTube or BitChute or take your pick of your favorite social media platform. This concept that I'm referring to is the idea of true capitalism. Now, under the current system, or 2019's American version of capitalism, is actually crony capitalism, whereas defined by Wikipedia. Now, out of all of the other sites that try to define this term, I consider this one to be the most accurate. Crony capitalism being an economic system in which businesses thrive not as a result of risk, but rather as a return on money amassed through a nexus between a business class and a political class. Link in the description. This is often achieved by using state power rather than competition in managing permits, government grants, tax breaks, or other forms of state intervention over resources where the state exercises monopolistic control over public goods. For example, mining concessions for primary commodities or contracts for public works. Money is then made by not merely making a profit in the market, but through profiteering, by rent seeking using this monopoly or oligopoly. Entrepreneurship and innovative practices which seek to reward risk are stifled because the value added is little by crony businesses, as hardly anything of significant value is created by them, with transactions taking the form of trading. Crony capitalism spills over into the government, the politics, and the media when this nexus distorts the economy and affects society to an extent that it corrupts public serving economic, political, and social ideals. In other words, our economic system is not allowing for the free and fair pursuits of entrepreneurship, but rather it's a results-fixing system that takes away from the power from the customer to purchase and puts total power into very few companies by using the government to enforce their profit-hunting pursuits, such as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You get my point. Now, is this unconstitutional? Section 6 of the U.S. Constitution actually talks about this, specifically that government officials can only get their compensation from the U.S. Treasury. It says, and I quote, "The senators and representatives shall receive compensation for their services to be ascertained by law and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. They shall in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of the peace be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses, and in going to and returning from the same. And for any speech or debate in either house, they shall not be questioned in any other place." Link in the description. So the impetus in respect to the government receiving compensation in any form from companies, is that considered treason? Now, I want to say that the Constitution should be amended to extend the Section 6 rule to any government official, including on the state and federal level. Technically, crony capitalism is not treason per se, but it is a form of market manipulation. Any unethical relationship between any government official and any private or publicly traded company is a form of market manipulation. For all intents and purposes, is a felony under the State and Securities Exchange Act of 1934. Now, since these unethical relationships are felonies, this is the impetus on which these government officials should be tried. So it is literal crime that your career politicians like the Clintons, Zombie Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer are practicing. They do their shady business through political action committees. So now that we know that this illegal system is rigged against the average American working class person, the question that stands is, what is true capitalism? True capitalism is the ability for the American worker to control the means of their own income generation without any corporate raiding tactics by big companies and corporations. In other words, single member LLCs is the secret to true capitalism. It's the only way that a person can be able to generate income for themselves independent of a hierarchical organizational system. Allow me to expand on this. Most people have to answer up to a boss in order to get their income to live. Now, I don't know about you, but I have certain skills and abilities that my bosses don't, okay? A lot of people have skills and abilities that their bosses just don't have for whatever reason. Now, they are profiting off of your intellect, ability, and innovation. That's not sound money. Why not you yourself profit off of your own intellect, ability, and innovation? We're in a very unique position in 2019 where people in general know that the rules are rigged against them, but they're too afraid to invest in themselves. What the fearful person that maybe you know as a part of your family, your friends, or any other part of your social circle, what they don't understand is that you don't have to leave your job when you're establishing your own company. Mind fucking blown, okay? You don't have to leave your own job and you could still have your own company on the side? Oh shit, that's unbelievable. That is amazing stuff, right? You could still work and build your own single member LLC on the side. That is the mitigant against the transient nature of weak men and women. That is what will make your business model cuck-proof and thought-proof, all right? Building up a client base takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. My channel, Overlay Clips, and me as your dude, Lord Overlay. Now, I got a government name, I got a real job, I have a real life, but my goal behind making videos is to build a base of potential clients in the future, because I will build my software, as some of you may know about. So my subs can potentially be my clients. Now, of course, I have to finish building my software, which is a struggle in and of itself because there are specific advanced functions that I want my software to do. But I digress. I'm aware that a lot of the things that I've said in my previous videos may kill off any business opportunities in the future with most of my subs. Who knows? But at the same time, if even a fraction of my subs tries and actually likes and uses the software that I'm going to build, and they consider it a benefit to their own entrepreneurial goals, then my shit talking and my shit posting was well worth the effort. Essentially, the key to true capitalism is through single member LLCs. Now, there is one more thing I want to go over in this video, and that is the feasibility factor of starting your own LLC. Is it feasible? Is it possible? Now, to think about your own business model, you have to think about your product and your service not being for you. Okay? Your business model and your business plans are not for you as the creator. All right? It's meant for the person that is going to consume the product or the service. You know, for most people that are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, they literally base their business model around themselves. Now, that is what makes their business model fail. They think that their business model has to be centered around how much money they can make. And that always, 100% of the time, is a failing proposition. You have to base your business model off what your people or your clientele, your base is going to consume. All right? Let me contextualize this for you. MGTOW, men going their own way as a marketplace of men, ranges anywhere from 18 to like 80 or the deathbed, right? But MGTOW men is too broad of a range to provide a product or a service to, right? But within MGTOW, there are probably some guys that don't have skills and abilities that I have. And they would want to have what I have, right? Now, I want to give them some of my skills and abilities, but at a price. So to sum this up, not every man can do everything they possibly want. But if they had some help, they could be able to get more out of this world than what they put into it. But to get to the next level, you have to give some people a chance. Not everybody, but some. And that's what I'm trying to instill in my listeners. You have to, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, control the means of your income generation through starting your own single member LLC. Facts where that. Lord. Overlay.